Hey, and hi, this is Jeffrey Samaganda, and I'm the founder of the Action Wealth Academy, the Action Wealth System, the Action Publishing, the author of 6 business books, and also the creator of a series of guidebooks and training programs that work with individuals and companies everywhere. We help them to become more competitive in their chosen field because we know you're competing with companies all over the world, but also we take them a step further to show them how to create multiple streams of income within their chosen field, their business model, or expertise, purely because we know today you can never achieve financial security if you just put all your eggs in one basket and just hope nothing happens to that particular basket. You need to have multiple streams of income, but also it's not how much money you're going to make, it's how much you're going to keep. Take you a step further to learn to manage your money and put it to work. If you don't put money to work, you can never achieve that financial security. You need to work more, but you need the money to work more for you if you want to achieve that financial security you're looking for. But also one more step, without protecting that wealth, without protecting that money, it will be taken away from you. You see, if you've never been sued before, it's because you're poor, because they don't sue poor people. They only sue people who have something of a value. If you've never been sued before, because the marketplace not aware how valuable you are, the day they find you have something of a value, they come after it. That's why we show you how to not just make it, manage it, protect it, and multiply it at the same time. Not because you're going to take money with you or that wealth with you when you leave this planet, because you're going to use it to create foundations and programs that will go on to make a difference in the world and leave this world a better place. Even if you're not here, you make an impact. So the world will be better because you showed up. Now, I first of all want to thank you for really taking time out and join me in this short video presentation, because I want to show you that, listen, over the years, I've had people asking me the question, Jeffrey, what is the Action Wealth System? How can you help me get started? And this being the beginning of the new year, the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, I wanted to record this short video, and I created a training program that's going to allow you to really make 2017 the best year ever for you. So if you give me half an hour of your time, I'm going to share with you my story, my structure, my strategy, and I'm going to give you the offer at the end of this presentation that I believe will help you stay on track, create a foundation and a program that allows you basically to go on to make 2017 the best year ever for you. And I'm happy to work with you, help you, see you through the year so you can achieve the best financial result ever to become better, stronger, wiser, more competent. The best year ever start from now. So thank you. I want you to turn your mobile phone off, turn the TV off, lock yourself in the room, and giving you half-hour attention. I'm going to show you exactly, share with you strategy that I believe I've been sharing with people for the last 15 years in over 35 different countries, 47 different cities. It's worked with hundreds of people around the world, and I really believe this is your time where this can actually help you. And I'm there to take you step by step and help you go all the way. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we have to do is to give you the basic understanding that everything begins from you. Who are you and what you want out of your life? When that happens, then you will basically decide the foundation. You see, if you're going to build the tallest building in town, you got to think of the foundation. If you're building a house, the foundation structure is the most important thing. So in order for you to create that solid foundation will really depends on how tall that building is going to be. So how much you want out of your life will really determine how much investment you need to make in yourself. Because self-investment, self-development is what makes you stand out and be different from other people. You becoming the person the marketplace can come to really depends how much time and investment you put in yourself. We all do that every day. Every day we're trying to be better, but sometimes most people do it unintentionally. You need to be very targeted, very intentional in everything you want to do so you can become stronger, wiser, more competent. We compete in companies all over the world. It's impossible for you to compete if you don't by intention decide that you're going to be one of the best in the world at what you do. So that foundation, that investment will depend on what you want out of your life. You see, just a little bit about myself. My name is Jeffrey Samag from Uganda, in Buganda. Who is a Muganda? Who speaks Luganda? So yeah, the name is Samaganda. I'm from a country called Uganda, in the region called Buganda, in the tribe called Baganda, and my first language is Luganda. So if you're not a Uganda, that might sound, actually rhymes, it sounds well. If you're Uganda, you might find it a bit, bit funny. But I say that everywhere I go around the world because I'm proud of who I am, where I come from. And one of the message I want to share with you, you need to be proud of who you are and where you're coming from, because that's what makes you unique and different to other people. So as somebody who was born in that country, I was growing up at the time when there was a war going on in my part of the country. I was born about 40 miles away from the capital city, Kampala, which is the capital city of Uganda, a place called Welo. In that area, we were devastated by the war that used to go on. Now I was like 7, 8 years old, and we used to run away from one part of the country to the other. Now, we used basically to just stay in the village, but one day they killed more people. I had to tell my mother we have to move. And my mother decided to stay, but I moved my brothers and sisters. So I was almost the older brother. I mean, I was the boy who knew to ride a bike. I had my sister was older than I was, but I knew how to ride a bicycle better than others. So when we moved to the other part of the country, we got a bit of help to find food to eat at the time. But sooner or later, we needed to figure out how to survive. So it was suggested by my auntie to go and buy goods wholesale and bring those goods to our house. We sold those goods retail, so we can use the profit to make money. So we used to buy things they use in the village. If you live in the West, you might not understand that, but we use teas and sugar and salt and cooking oil and matchboxes and stuff like that people use on a daily basis in the village. So we buy in big stores at wholesale and we sold retail, and the difference, which as profits, we use that to buy food. Now for me, that's how I was lucky. I was lucky that I did learn to make a profit when I was 9 years old, which is basically very true. Profits are far better than wages. And so many people don't understand that, but you need to be very clear and understand that. And the reason why I say I was lucky, because 2 years ago, I read a book, Financial Literacy for Teens and Their Parents. And I did find the research that we did. We even were speaking to some graduates from some of the universities in this country. And some of them did not actually understand how you make a profit. All they understand to go and get a job, but not actually how to go and find something bad or not very valuable and make it more valuable and turn it into a profit. Very few people understand that. Now, I grew up in the country. Most of the kids in the country in Africa tend to get this concept. So basically for me, I learned to make a profit when I was 9 years old, and that basically did help me out. Because when we went back home, my dad actually suggested I can keep making money because I know how to make money, I can make my own money. And then for some reason, we had to run away again. But this time I refused to be the money in the house. Now I knew I had an uncle in Kampala. I never met this uncle of mine. So I jumped in the truck without telling my parents that I'm going to see my uncle. Now my uncle, I knew, is a mechanic, fixes cars. So I assumed he has a big house, has his own garage. But I was wrong. I was like, 11, 12 years old. I jumped on the truck. I came to the capital city, Kampala. In one of the slummiest part of Kampala, now I know. At the time I didn't know. I thought it was a beautiful city, as a city. And we were fixing cars on the street. When I got to his place, he had a single room. Didn't have enough space for even him to stay with your own family, let alone me coming in. But I was used to sleep in the bush during the war, so it was not a big deal for me to crash next door. And I heard him telling his wife that they're going to send me back to the village, something I refused to do. So I joined him to work in the morning. I noticed there were so many other kids my age, between 10 to 13. They are basically passing tools to him and in the end giving him some money to go and buy food. But I realized that I can't really do that. I have to do something better than that, because this guy who put me back on the taxi and sending me back home, putting me on the bus, sending me back to the village. And something I decided, I'm not going back to the village. However, my dad basically taught me something during the war. My dad was concerned that one day the government soldiers who used to come to our village and kill us, maybe one day they'll catch me. And he was concerned that if I get caught by these guys, who basically were killing most boys, because remember, it was the little boys used to actually fighting the government, because there were child soldiers that were there in our village. All my friends actually kind of joined the struggle. They were carrying guns and fighting with the government army. So it didn't matter how old you are, as long as you're a boy, you are vulnerable to be killed. So my dad said, listen, if they catch you, if you ever get caught by the army, just try to make yourself useful, because people are useful. People are able to volunteer to do stuff. They usually don't get killed, because when they catch you as a kid, they take you to camp. And if they're in the camp, you behave nicely, you'll survive. So he was concerned that if I ever get caught, I have to make myself useful. He said that when you're useful, usually the last person they will kill. And so that was a good message. He also said, maybe somehow someone will like you and give you a chance to get away. Or you can find a way to get away, to run away. So that was my idea. So everywhere I went, I had this principle of making myself useful. So when I came to the garage, I knew I need to make myself useful. To be useful, I can't do what other kids are doing. So I went and looked at other people who are doing fixing cars, but they're involved in putting engine apart and put it together, especially Japanese car engines. So I really got involved in cleaning the engine parts, because when they're putting an engine apart and put it together, they clean it everything out. They clean the entire engine first. So I volunteered to clean with petrol and clean the engine, cleaning all the engine parts first. And then I watched how they're doing it. And in the end, I picked up so much ideas and I learned so much within a week. Actually, I was doing more than just cleaning. I was actually helping out, putting things together, put the engine together. And within a month, I could actually put a Japanese car engine apart and put it together. Now, in that environment, I became so good. My uncle even forgot about me. He was happy to let me stay because now I'm more useful to him than other kids. And also I can go and get cars that basically break down on the road and I'm making more money. So he let me stay. However, the time is running out for me because my dad now knows where I am. He wants me to go back to school. Like, I'm 12 years old, I need to get back to school. Now, remember, I made a decision, I'm not going back to school. But I can't stay here because my dad would take me back to the village. And most importantly, fixing cars was not something I liked because I always like to be clean. I usually wear a white shirt. And when you're little, you're the one that sent to get under the car when it rains. It rained, so I didn't really like the environment, but I had to work as hard as I could just to have a chance to stay. And then one day, Malak came, one young guy showed up at our garage riding a motorcycle, a mopeds. You know those mopeds basically in those days that didn't really exist. And this boy looked like a boy. It looked like a 17-year-old boy. He must have been 18, 19, but he looked so young. Because he looked young, I could relate to him. I went and asked him, how did you get one of these motorcycles? Now he said, he was joking with me, he said, well, come and work for me. Remember in those days, motorcycles didn't exist. Electron didn't exist. There were not many. And those who were there, they were not owned by kids, but kids of his age. So he joked, come and work for me. And he didn't realize he was joking to a wrong kid. I'm looking for a way out. I want to leave the garage. So anybody give me an advice, an idea to go and do something better than that and work away from the garage where my dad would pick me up and send me back to the village, I was happy to join. So I found out where he works in the morning and basically I told him I'm here. He told me, Jeffrey, I was kidding. I don't have anything for you to do. But I told him, don't worry. I can make myself useful. That's the word. And the same way I made myself useful at the garage, the same way I made myself useful with him. I told him I'm good at buying and selling stuff. I was doing that in the village, so I know how to sell and take care of customers. I know how to basically count money. I know how to budget. I know all that particular stuff. But in the time I spent with this young man over 6 months, he taught me more than that. He taught me business skills. He taught me how to do basic accounts, how to take care of customers, how to know what came in, what went out, how to balance the books, how to be diligent with your money and make sure you organize and clean and structured in everything that you do. He taught me incredible lessons at the age of 13, 14 that really served me over the years. Now, remember now, I want to impress my dad that I can actually study in town. I don't want to go back to the village. So I wanted to make extra money to get myself to go to school. But when this guy found out I was making money on the side, he wasn't happy. So that's another lesson I did learn. Even though I learned accounting lesson, the business lesson, he's taught me great lessons. But also I did learn that when you work for someone else, they never really want you to make more money than they make. So when I was making money on the side, he wasn't happy. So I thought, you know what, let me make money on the side when he doesn't know. I tell a friend who will do a business with a friend of mine. And a friend of mine one day came to me that he lost the money. So I'm like, okay, this guy not going to let me make more money. So I can, convince my dad that, man, I can take care of myself. I can actually pay for my school fees. Secondly, I cannot work on the side because actually whoever I give my money, they will end up losing it. So I can't trust anybody with money. I didn't know what I want to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do. And sometimes you don't know what you want to do. If you're a young person listening to this, or you're a grown-up person, you can't stack. Sometimes you don't know what you want to do. But whatever that you're doing, do it as if your life depends on it. Because I kept working so hard at this shop where I knew my days are numbered. I can't stay there. This guy never going to let me make more money, but I can't go back to the village, but I have to work as hard. In that environment of working hard, that's when I started to notice people used to bring the goods to our shop to sell and give them the money. They were bringing goods from the UK. And I'm like, okay, how to go to the UK? I saw one day one young guy was going to the UK, to England. And I'm like, if he can go, maybe there's a chance I can go. And I made a decision at some point over a few months later that I'm going to go. In those days, you didn't need a visa, and I was about 14, going 15 years old. I raised myself enough money. On the side, I made money. Now I have a goal. I jumped on a plane. I came to the UK. Now, cut the story short, I didn't have a family member here. I was just on my own. My family, they never left Uganda. Later on, actually come all the way, to the UK. And I'm in the country. I only know one family. And by the way, in those days, that family couldn't even say they know you because even they didn't have papers themselves. So really, I was on my own. I tried to do some manual labor jobs. When I was too skinny, I couldn't do them. In the end, I had to find out, what can I do? And I remember I was selling goods when I was in Uganda. So I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to buy and sell stuff. So I was asking, how can I sell stuff? But I couldn't do the selling because I didn't know English very well. So really, I couldn't really understand to communicate with English and white people. So the only thing I could do is to try some manual labor jobs, which basically completely failed. So the only other option is to go back and learn English. When I was there learning English, to do some business courses, that's when I heard somebody mention something, how to make money by actually do, things like network marketing or buying goods and sell them, on your own. So I'm like, but I can't really speak good English. What can I do? He said, don't worry about it. If you really have something to sell, you can always employ people to work for you, to sell on your behalf. So I'm like, how is that possible? How can anybody work for me? He said, well, just register a company. You can go to the job center. They will send you the people you're looking for, and they can come and work for you. They make sure they speak English and go do the selling for you. So I'm like, are you telling me I can actually go and register a company and nobody will ask me for anything? Because in those days, if you wanted to go and get a job, you needed a piece of paper that allows you to work. They call it a work permit in this country. But when you register a company, nobody asks you for anything. I remember sending £10 to company's house, and I got my certificate of incorporation. All of a sudden, I'm an entity. I'm a business. And then, so I asked, how do I find things to sell? And the guy said to me, listen, there's a seminar, there's books, there are programs, there are workshops, everywhere. You can go to exhibitions. You can go and find out the stuff you can sell. What would you like to say? I said, I don't care. Anything that can bring in money. So somebody suggested, you know what? You can see, there are companies who are selling telecommunication services, companies selling some, stuff, good they sell on the streets. So like, telecommunication sounds great. So we found a company. I was a company registered, so we got ourselves a resale, job or deal. So we were getting paid a commission for every sale that we make. We employed enough people. We send them out. They start selling. In the first month, I made more money than people make in a year. And trust me, I did not really understand most of the words on those particular contracts because my English wasn't good at all. The point I'm making is that all of a sudden, it was easier to set up a business than actually getting a job. It was easier to employ people who actually didn't even know that my English wasn't that great and prepared to work as long as they were guaranteed pay. But what also shocked me in the West, that you can actually go on and learn anything. Somebody said to me something was very important, that Jeffrey can become anything you want to become. The only person going to stop you is you. Now that was a shock to me, because as far as I was concerned, somebody was stopping me. And I was working since I was 9 years old trying to survive. How come I'm never going to make it? And also somebody told me that if nobody in your family ever been successful, you're never ever going to make it. That's how I used to hear the songs in my country, how people used to say. So in this particular way of listening to people telling me that I can become anything, can learn anything, I can actually go and get a book and read, and everything I want to do, somebody has already done it. That's really changed my life. So the system I'm showing you is, first of all, you need to understand whatever that is you want to do, as simple and as basic my story is. I want you to understand anything you want to do, someone has already done it. Okay, they've written a book about it. There's a seminar on that. There's a coaching program on it. There's a community around that thing you want to do. You just need to decide to invest more in yourself, to be better, stronger, wiser, more competent in that. You see, nobody's better than you. They just do it harder. They work harder than you are. They started a little earlier than you are, and they're more committed than you are. If you can start now and become more committed and work as hard and invest yourself as you can be on the world stage and compete with some of the best people in the world. That's why the foundation of this first step, and I'm going to show you this tree, I'm going to build this house, I'm going to show you, you have to create a solid foundation. Now, solid foundation is what's up here. What you know is your number one wealth creation, is the number one marketing tool, and you can only do that by basically deciding to invest in your mind, in yourself, in your head, everything that you think you need to get you where you want to go. But of course, you need to know where you want to go. So the first thing is, I should say, you need some goals. You need to know what you want to do with your life. What is it that you want out of life? Because that determines how much investment you need to put in yourself. Now, so many people don't want much out of life. They just want to survive. You see, if you just want to survive, cut this video off and forget about this. Because at the end of the day, anybody can survive. You will survive. Doesn't matter. That's a God-given right to survive. But if you want to stand out as somebody who's going to do more than just surviving, someone going to live a more happy, more fulfilling life, going to make this world a better place, contribute, build wealth, because somebody who actually becomes someone anybody who can call upon, and when something happens, then you better keep watching. But that also determines how much foundation you need to create. If you want to build the tallest building in town, you better build a solid foundation that will be able to hold that structure. So the first thing you have to feed your mind with information taking where you want to go. Listen, the funniest thing is, I was listening to the radio today, and in the UK, 70% of the workforce spend between 2 to 3 hours a day commuting. That was a shock to me, because I don't really commute to an office. I go to office once a week. Now, to basically tell me that people spend 2 to 3 hours, even more, per day to go to and from work every day is crazy. But if that's you, then you can use that as the opportunity to really get yourself a PhD in whatever that is you want to learn. Because I tell you what, instead of watching YouTube videos and funny videos and listen to music and read magazine has no purpose, or newspaper that's got no meaning, you better basically listen to an audio on your way. If you spend 1 hour every day listening to something, one subject in one area, you become the top 10 experts in the world. If you read one book a week on one subject, you become the top 10 experts in, within 1 year. If you watch 1 hour video, if you can't read, you can listen. If you can't listen, you can watch a YouTube video, a training program you can best subscribe to or buy. You become the top 10 expert in the world in that particular subject. So whatever you choose, it's not that complicated to become better, stronger, wiser, more competent, but you need by intention to decide it. In 2017, you have to decide to be one of the best at what you're thinking you want to be. And each and every one of us can teach something. That's why one of my training programs say, what can you teach? I'm going to talk about in the next slide. What can you teach? What is it, the one thing you need to teach me? And in order for you to teach it, you have to learn it. In order for you to learn it, you have to teach it, because teacher benefit the most. A lecture that can take you an hour to deliver can easily take you a week to put together, which means you learn more. So the more you feed your mind with information helping you to get to where you want to get, that's how you start to feel, more comfortable about you and who you are. Now, next, you need to feed your body. You see, the body is the supporting system of the mind. Sometimes we don't do well purely because we don't feel well. Have you ever been in a situation where you're really in the morning ready to go, but the body is tired? It's because you don't take care of it. You see, I'm not here, I've got a system, I'm going to share with you some ideas how to take care of yourself, but this short video, I just want to ask you, use your common sense and figure out what is good for you. It's your body. You should know what to do with it. But there are some basics. You need to put in your body the thing that you know are good for you. You need to do some research on that. We give you some strategy and ideas how to eat well. But you need to put in there the things that you know are good for you. Most of us are clever enough. The fact that you're still watching this, you want to be a wealthy individual. You know what you should and should not eat. You just need to be disciplined enough to know, you know what, I'm not going to do that. So make sure you feed yourself with stuff in your body. That stuff can help you have more energy and more healthier. 2, you have to exercise. You see, the body must exercise. When you put something in there, you better get your body moving. Otherwise, if you stay in one place at without exercising, you really will not have the energy that you need to keep your mind running and working. And by the way, let me tell you this. If you want to go to another level in your life, all hell will break loose. Anything can go wrong will go wrong. And you have to have the energy to hang in there, to stay strong. In order for that to happen, take your body, okay? Put in there with something that's good for you and start doing exercises that help you to keep moving, be mobile, break a sweat. Half an hour a day would help you best, go a long way to be energetic and strong enough. And the final part, drink lots of water. Now those three, we talk many things in the training program, but right now, drink lots and lots of water. You know what you should drink. I'm not here to tell you how much. Do some research. Before you go to the training course, I'll tell you exactly what you have to do, but for now, just get some ideas on how much water you need to drink. Lots of it on a daily basis. Eat well and exercise well, at least half an hour per day. That helps you go. You need to make sure this matches that. And the final part, your appearance. You see, you're feeding your mind, you're becoming better, wiser, stronger, more competent. You're feeding your body, have all the energy, but make sure the outside represents what's the inside. You see, God sees the inside of us, but people see the outside. And you never have another opportunity to make the first impression. And the first impression is always the last impression with people. You see, you need to be prepared to make sure you represent who you are. And that's key. Do not ignore. So the whole package. Now, with this foundation, you build it once and it's done. Never. This is forever. You're always going to be learning. You're only going to be taking care of your body. You're always going to be improving your appearance on a regular basis. And appearance, I don't mean just the look, just not what you dress, but what you're going to say. Some people, they're so pretty, but when they speak, you just say, please, I wish you didn't speak. You don't want to be like that. You need to be both. You need to be smart. You need to be healthy. You need to be able to communicate well, but also understand how the power of communication let people also speak so you can hear and know how you can respond. Remember, we have one of these, two of this. So you need to learn that. So this foundation to help you be the best you can be, create multiple streams of income, which you're going to talk about in a second, talk about wealth. That's the tree that's the house we're going to build now. But right now, we start from working on you. Now, if you've been working on yourself, you're feeding your mind, you're feeding your body, you're appearing well, you basically invest in knowledge in that particular one subject, whatever the subject is. Then we need to go to next level. We're going to build these 5 pillars. The 5 pillars, that's what is going to hold your house. These 5 pillars, the first pillar is income number 1. The first income is, what is it that you know you can teach me? You see, you've been investing everything in the foundation of who you are. You're becoming better, wiser, stronger, more competent. That knowledge, that experience, that story will impact someone else's life. You see, for years, I really ignored who I am, my story, what it was. I didn't realize it can touch millions of people around the world. You cannot afford to do that. So the first income, I'm going to talk about multiple streams of income here, but the first income you need to think of, what is it that you know today you can teach someone else? This is what we call the expert industry. The expert industry is what you take what you know and turn into a book, an audio book, a workbook, a seminar, a webinar, a coaching program, a mentoring program, a licensing program, a coaching an instructor's guide type program, a speech, a seminar, a spokesperson. Use that to raise money for charity and make a difference in the world. You see, what you know can impact someone else's life. If you had my story, everything I've done because I looked at someone else who's inspired me to see if they can do it, I can do it too. And it doesn't matter who you are. You can either be an example or you be a warning. We better be examples. People look at us and say, you know what, I want to be like him. And you can only be an example when you're becoming that example, who you appear in that example, who you're out there talking to people. But also the key element here is that if you want to survive and compete in this marketplace today with companies all over the world, you better know how to communicate. And to communicate, you have to be teaching. The more you teach, the better you become. I said earlier, the teacher benefits the most. So when you teach, not only are you going to make lots of money in the process of making an impression and make a difference in people's lives, and they pay you for the service and the skill that you're providing as an expert to teach, turn into an income. So many people making a fortune by teaching what they know. You call it a hobby, somebody making a fortune is called as an expert. I'll show you how to take the information out of your head and turn into the 10 most profitable programs that allows you to really reach more people, amplify your message, and reach more people around the world. You use it to build a solid business, get more customers, get more promotion. You see people today buy from people they know and people they get to trust. How do people get to know you? Will depends your ability to create programs. You see, I published 5 books and I helped more than 125 people to write their own books. But the reason why I encourage each and every single one of us to write a book, because the book becomes a communication channel. A book makes you an expert. A book makes you stand out. A book gives you that authority. You join those celebrities, the people they think of when it comes to that particular subject. But the most important reason why you want to teach, because the process that it takes for you to finish that book, to finish that program, you start to learn more by your message more than anyone else. You see, a lot of people say, I know this, but they actually don't. They have not structured that message, that voice into such a structure and a framework that allows them to learn it so they can share with other people. I'll show you exactly how to do that. That's income number 1. Okay? Now, income number 2 is how to generate an income online. So remember, you still feed in your mind, feed in your body, you're presenting yourself well. Now that person you're becoming, you just turn into multiple income streams by teaching everything that you know, and you create information products. Information products, as I said, books, audio books, special report, workbooks, seminars, webinars, coaching program, mentoring program. You can make a fortune in that. That will help you get a better job, get a better contract. And by the way, today, marketing is teaching. If the people who teach the marketplace more about what they do, they're the movers and shakers of tomorrow. They're the one we buy from because we know who they are. I'm sure you know Bill Gates, Steve Jobs' story, Mark Zuckerberg's story, because they are very good at communicating with us, telling us who they are and what they stand for. And in the end, we trust them and we buy from them. People buy from people they know, people they get to trust. Now, once you get to know that, you're going to take that information and put your knowledge and expertise online. Because every time you say something today, what people do, they Google you. What comes up should be the training programs that you provide, the ideas that you share, the blogs, the social media communication, the networks, everything around you. Today you can't hide anymore. The real you will be seen. You can't say, oh, this is the business, personal life, and this is my business life. That used to be the 80s and the 90s, and today, no. Your life is one. Okay, what you say on Facebook, on social media, what you say outside of the bar will basically follow you everywhere you go. People don't care about the stuff you did 10 years ago. They care about things you did yesterday. Now, if you're not out there teaching and becoming better every single day, it's difficult to stay on track. So by you picking something you love, remember you're doing what you love doing. And then you take that and turn it online. You create programs and what you call a funnel marketing channels online that allows you to teach everything you know for free, as well as asking people to buy some stuff from you because they get to know you and reach more people around the world. You can create multiple income streams online by taking everything you know offline and put it online, and I'm showing you exactly to do that in a training program. And then the third income is to really understand a business system. Now, I cannot talk to you about business without teaching you what is a business. What exactly separates a business from a job? So many people, they actually have this job mentality because we're trained in the system that I call fraud. This system allows you go and get in date by learning something. By the time you finish, it's obsolete. It's not useful. And then you go and work for a company, dream to work for a company for 40 years, so you can retire on basically on 40% of the income you couldn't survive on before when you didn't have the time. You see, the system that was created completely crazy. Work for 40 years, retire on 40% of the income you couldn't survive on when you were busy working. Now you have all the time in the world when you need more money. Now they're asking you, you're going to take a pay cut on that. Now, you have to really walk away and forget that system, because by the time, even if you do believe that system, even the 40% won't be there because more people are living longer. So you need to understand, how can you take that thing you're learning, the person you become, the product, the business you're creating, and really makes a turnkey business. A turnkey business, a business you can actually walk away from it and it's still there. A turnkey business, a business you can basically wheel out. You can sell. By the way, a business is something you should evaluate every 6 months. You need to bring a valuer to value a company every 6 months so they can tell you either the business is going up in value or going down in value. Either way, if you keep holding on to that business, you are buying it. Most people, they're buying a company losing money, but they're holding to them because it's their baby. It's not your baby. It's a business supposed to give you life, not take the life that you have. Most people, when they start a business, they're in control. It's my business, I'm in control. As time goes on, the business takes over. The business takes control. All of a sudden, you ask them, how is it? Oh, I'm so busy. I don't have no time for anybody. I don't have no time for family. I don't have the time for me. I'm so busy running a business. You cannot really call yourself a business owner when you're in prison with your own creation. You need to have a business that run with or without you, and there's a structure you need to put in place that allow you to do so. Now, I'll give you the fundamental keys on how to start and how to do that. And then the next part, the next income stream you need to think about is putting that money to work. And the first thing that an average person can do, doesn't matter where you are in the world, is to invest in real estate. Take that money and investing in brick and mortar. You see, I've traveled in 35 different countries of 45 different cities, but I can tell you this, I'm yet to meet anybody who achieved financial security who never invested in real estate. They must understand they don't make land anymore. There'll be more people on the planet tomorrow than there are today. Actually, as you watch this particular video, people out there making babies right now. So there's always going to be need for more housing for people to live. There's more people being born than houses being built. The value for property doubles every 10 years, depends where you are in the world, between 5 to 10 years. So really, you need to think about investment strategy allows you to really live a good life, but at the same time investing in your future. Property will change your life. You invest in that investment to help you do so. And by the way, all these elements, you need to understand the fundamentals of them, because if you know what you're looking for, you can always pay other people to do some of the work for you, but you need to know what you're paying them for. You can outsource some of the stuff I'm talking about, but you need to know what exactly you're trying to outsource, what exactly you're looking for someone to do for you. And the final part of investment income is how to invest in the movers and shakers of tomorrow. Now, those could be in your local market or they could be on the stock market. Now, I'm not here to say, oh, go and invest and gamble your money on the stock market, but I'm saying to you that there are people out there who are going forward with or without us. Now, remember, you've been investing in your knowledge, you're feeding your mind with information, taking you somewhere in a specific subject. If that subject was, I don't know, cameras or computer software engineering or lighting, as I've got lighting in front of my face here, or real estate or writing or plumbing or electrician, whatever the subject is, there are companies out there because you have knowledge on the subject. If you start researching on the companies that you should invest some of your little money, you will first of all know what's good and what's bad because you are familiar and you understand more about that particular topic. Don't choose a topic you have no clue about. Choose a topic you're actually studying and you're learning. You seem to be understanding it. You'll be able to tell between the right company and not the right company. Now that gives you the information. Even if you made a mistake once, you know what not to do again. But the reason why I want you to do that, because there's a say, if you can't beat them, we join them. People out there making money, you might as well give him some of your money. Don't be one of those people who just say, oh, these guys get rich and they leave us behind. So you start being actually jealous about what they do. No, invest in their money. If you bought some stocks, some of the biggest companies today, and by the way, let me tell you this, if you don't buy those stocks, you're going to spend that money anyway, okay? If you have children, teach them how to invest in the future because they need to understand you don't become rich in one day, but also you don't get poor in one day. It takes time. If you don't set them with the good habits, if you don't put your money in some investments that besides you, then you can never achieve that security. You need to create multiple streams of income. All these areas are multiple income streams. You can create income stream within what you know. You can create income streams online. You can create income streams in business model structures. You can franchise a system that allows you to really be in different countries and different markets and still get paid royalty and get paid lots of money. You can invest in real estate in so many different property structure. Do you have to become an expert in real estate? Not necessarily, but at least you need to know what it takes and what an investment, what is not an investment. There's a wrong way and there's a right way. Be prepared to invest in knowledge and understanding. Stock market. You see, you can never run out of people to invest in. You can never run out of companies to invest in. You can never run out people who are movers and shaking, who you can see this guy is going somewhere. Let me invest some of my money. I've invested in some individuals who I knew this guy is serious, this girl is serious, she's going somewhere, he's going somewhere. And the money to pay huge dividend. I'm also lost money. And some of the people actually I thought they would do well and they didn't. I'm also lost money for people as well. But the point is, because the subject you understand the most, this structure, these 5 pillars will help you build 2017 as a huge and serious foundation that will help you really to move on. And I'm going to teach you all this in my course that I'm going to share with you in a second. Now, of course, you cannot finish a house without putting a roof. This is the protection part. This part here is key. You need to put every single coin you have to work. This element have to put you into the thinking that it's not you to work, but to put money to work. Money to work means you become a business owner. You have somebody who think more of how to take money and leverage on your knowledge and your money. Remember, to become rich, you have to basically leverage. Leverage on your skill, meaning you know what to do, so employ more people to do more work for you. Leveraging on your money by buying things like real estate. You put in some, the system put in more, the return comes to you. You pay a little bit of taxes, you pay the interest, everybody's a winner. You need to put your money to work. Secondly, you need to protect it. I said earlier, if you've never been sued before, because you don't have anything of a value, they don't sue poor people. But now you have a foundation, you have some business, you have some wealth. I can guarantee you they will take it away from you if you don't protect it. Protection exists in everything you can imagine. Protecting yourself, protecting your business, protecting your income, protect your family, and make sure you build a financial wall around you and your family. Nobody basically can come in. And the final part of that roof is use this wealth, because you're not going to take it with you. Use it for just doing good. You see, money makes you more of who you are. That's really the key. You see, money will take you somewhere, but you are the driver. You're always going to be the driver. You have to be clear on what you want, what legacy you want to leave behind. Listen, if you basically were to understand this action wealth system, how it works, you really can find that building wealth becomes so easy, not as complicated as you think. Because you're starting from the foundation of you. We're building you. We're investing in you. We're showing strategies how to learn more about how to get the best knowledge from the best people to help you be one of the best in the game. Take care of your body so you can live healthily and okay and appear and present yourself well. Your ability to communicate who you are. Take that knowledge and turn it into an income by creating information product. Take that information product online. Allow you to build more online and offline businesses. Understand the business so you can create a structure, allow you to create multiple businesses that allow you to have life instead of business taking life that you have. Put some of that wealth into real estate, brick and mortar, because you know it will make you more wealthy, work for you, whether you're around or not around. In so many places around the world, there's a wrong way and there's a right way. And put some of your money in investment movers and shakers of tomorrow. I use the word movers and shakers. It could be companies, it could be individuals. Depends on what your interests are. But if you really want to go and build more wealth, you need to invest in people, in some companies, because those are the areas that you understand. Then the roof comes down to put your wealth to work. We have strategies that based on your subject, we can help you best see what you should invest more your money. How can you leverage on that money to work more for you? How can you protect it? Protecting your structure that are there that can help you do so, and how can you use it to make a difference in the world by you leaving a legacy, creating program that will be here well after. So many people are not here, but they've impacted our world, and we can't imagine a world without them. Now, this is the actionable system. Okay, so what I promised you when we started this video is that I've created a training program that will be online. It'll be video learning program online, and I'll be coming live to share some live advice and structures on this particular structure. From the foundation creation, how we create a solid foundation, how to create information products, how to build an online business, how to create a business structure that allows you to have a business, not a job, how to take that money and invest in fundamentals about real estate, how to pick the best company, the best individual to invest in because it's best on your subject, how to protect your wealth, how to put your wealth work for you, and how to use it to make a difference and impact in the world. That's a 7 weeks training program. Even when the 7 weeks are finished, this training will be available for you for an entire year. Now, this particular training program is usually in 995 US dollars. It's a 7 weeks program. You have access to the entire program over a year. Every time I come in and share new ideas, new structure with myself or some of my business partner, we share strategies with you in this particular system. But I'm going to make a special offer for you, because this is the end of 2016 and I believe you need a good foundation to make 2017 your best year ever. To do that, I'm asking for this particular week only, if you can really register, because we don't have too many spots. We don't want many people in the system. It's going to consume a lot of my time and many of my partners' time. I just want to go ahead and basically register for just $99. I said it, $99. You can basically sign up in this particular program, and we get you started in 6 to 7 weeks. You have the entire system complete, and you choose which of these areas you want to specialize, and I spend more time with you to help you become an expert in that. But the foundation is the same, but each of those areas you can choose where you want to concentrate more. And the protection, put your wealth to work for you, make a difference in the world. That's what I do, and I'll help you in the members area to make sure you achieve that. Now, if you can go right now and register, click the button and register. There should be a countdown on this particular page. If there isn't, I'll be putting this page down soon, so you need to register now. I've got very few spots left. You need to come and take my experiences. There are very few people like me been around for many years, even before some of these so-called gurus online ever being available. The people say, look at me, I made it, you're gonna, it's gonna happen for you without any work. Let me tell you this. Yes, you can work smart, but you cannot be fooled. I'm going to show you the foundation of how you can take everything from the beginning to the end. I show you the entire structure, give you everything that I have and more to help you really build a solid foundation. But I want you to go and register, only $99, and we can get ourselves started. So go ahead, click the button, and I'll see you in the members area. As soon as you do, I'll send you an invitation, I'll send you a video, and I'll show you exactly how to get started. And I'm happy to work with you. And by the way, if you're not happy within the first 30 days, I'm happy to do the refund. I'll give you your money back. So you have nothing to lose, but all to gain. So let's basically start and give ourselves 7 weeks. 7 weeks of a solid learning, and that learning will be available for you for an entire year to access whenever you choose. And I'll be adding more success strategies and ideas in this particular program until the year ends. So for just $99, I'm giving the best of what I have to show you how to be the best you can be, create multiple streams of income, and put your wealth to work and use it to make a difference in the world. Thank you so much for your time. I know I said half an hour, but almost reaching 50 minutes. Thank you so much for your time. Take care and God bless. And I'll see you in the members area. Go ahead, register. And if there's someone out there you care about, I want you to send them in this video so they can also come on board, because sometimes it's better to go ahead, be successful, be wealthy, make a difference in the world when you're around people who are doing similar stuff. Otherwise, you might actually end up not connecting, because all of a sudden you move in different direction and they're best to follow in different direction. So if somebody out there you care about, you better show them, let them watch the entire video, and hopefully they can join us in the members area too. Take care, God bless you. Have a good new year. Have the end of 2016 and have a fantastic Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Take care and God bless. Go ahead, register, and see you in the members area. Bye for now.